This story comes from a town in Central Florida called Newport Richey. It's about a guardian and a teen who've been having issues with authority and responsibility. I'm going to report on two cases stemming from their differences. But first, let me share this article about effects of cell phones on children and teenagers in today's society. This article is not in any way meant to try and sway an opinion on the actions involved or on who's right or wrong in these cases I'm about to report on. Here goes. Ever since the first cell phones were released commercially in 1983, over 40 years ago, they had a profound impact on children. Gone are the days of playing outside until the street lights came on and using landline phones to call friends. Now, children as young as 5 years old are constantly connected to the digital world. At first, parents were hesitant to give their children cell phones. They were seen as expensive and unnecessary luxuries. But as technology advanced and cell phones became more affordable, parents began to see the benefits of giving their children a device that could keep them safe and connected. One of the biggest ways cell phones have affected children is in terms of communication. With the ability to call, text, and video chat, children can easily stay in touch with their friends and family, no matter where they are. Another major impact of cell phones on children is the decrease in physical activity. With the rise of smartphones and video games, children are spending more time indoors and less time being active. With the ability to track their location, parents feel more at ease knowing their child has a cell phone. This has also given children a sense of independence and responsibility. However, the constant use of cell phones has also led to a decrease in face-to-face interactions and quality family time. Children are often glued to their screens, even during family meals or outings. This has caused a disconnect between family members and has led to concerns about the impact of technology on social skills. They have also brought challenges and concerns. It is important for parents to monitor their children's cell phone usage and teach them responsible digital habits. With proper guidance, cell phones can be a valuable tool for children in today's digital age. That is the end of the article. The following probable cause statement for the January 13th, 2024 arrest reads as follows. On January 13th, 2024, Vinchance Miller was arrested and taken into custody on a charge of child abuse. He was given a bond of $50,000 initially, but before he could bond out of jail, the judge from his prior child abuse case revoked his bond, and he is now being held in the county jail without a bond. The probable cause statement for that arrest reads as follows. On the above listed date and time, the defendant, 56-year-old father, and victim, 16-year-old, redacted, entered into a verbal argument about the victim not getting off her cell phone. The defendant took the victim's charger in an attempt to get the victim off her cell phone. The victim then took the charger back. The defendant retaliated and struck the victim in the face with one punch, more specifically the left side near her eye. This caused the victim to sustain purple and black bruising, swelling, and a laceration on the left side of her face. The victim had photographs from the time of the incident, and the injury was still present days later upon the contact of law enforcement. The defendant claimed he could not recall how the victim sustained the injury and did not remember what the argument was about. The defendant stated the injuries on the victim appeared weeks prior, but did not know how she obtained them. However, the defendant said he does believe the argument was over the victim using her phone excessively and never getting off it. Based on the information above, the defendant was placed under arrest for the listed charge. The defendant was transported to the Land O'Lakes jail, where his custody was given over to booking without incident. Based on the extensive history between the defendant and the victim and multiple child abuse cases or charges that have been arrested upon, I request the defendant receive a high bond for the safety of the victim. The victim has been placed into a safety plan via DCF with a nearby neighbor. End of probable cause statement. As stated in that probable cause statement, there was a previous child abuse case against the suspect. That incident took place just 4 months ago on September 16th, 2023. The probable cause statement for that charge reads as follows. On September 16th, 2023 at 18:34 hours, the victim and the defendant were inside their residence at redacted. The victim, while sitting in a chair in the living room, put her feet on a table in front of her. The defendant, who is the redacted, then pushed the chair over, causing the victim to fall to the ground. The victim, out of frustration, punched the television and explained she did so because she did not want to strike the redacted, the defendant. She then went outside to the front yard to get away from him. I observed injuries to the victim's left forearm, belly and left middle finger, which were consistent with her statement. The defendant stated the victim wanted to go to her friend's house, and he told her no. He continued and stated the victim then picked up a chair and struck him with it. The defendant and the victim went outside, where the defendant claimed the victim then struck his truck with a skateboard. In speaking with the defendant, he did not know where he was struck by the chair on his body. He stated he couldn't even guess. The defendant also stated the victim struck his truck somewhere between the middle and front of the truck on the passenger's side. He showed me the truck and immediately told me there were no damages and I did not observe any. The defendant also claimed he was struck by the skateboard on the left side of his head in the temple area. However, the defendant had no signs of injuries to this area and no redness. At this time, I determined probable cause existed for child abuse and took the defendant into custody. He was transported to the District 1 office. Patrol 1 later transported him to the Pasco County Jail without further incident. That is the end of that probable cause statement. Thanks for watching.